Yeah, well, first of all, I was living in this house, and I was building a little wall out there, and this guy, we found out later, he used to meet somebody down here. His name was Ralph Harrison, and he used to slow down and watch me, and it was not the same day. He was doing it for probably a couple of months. He did the things, I put brick on the house, and all that on the bottom. So he stopped one day and said, "Hey, would you be interested to work for the county?" I didn't know that much about the county at the time. I said, well, the jobs I have, that you're laid off every time. I worked for Revere Copper and Brass. That was about the best one. The 88 acres down here, South Coast Plaza. And the CEO, how I got the job there is he went with my cousin in Boston to Boston College. And he had a doctor and a doctor. That's how I came here, as a doctor and a priest. And my uncle came here from Boston, South Boston. So he wanted me to go with him, so I came out. Well, we were planning on getting married that time. I'm a little ahead of myself here. With the county, they said, well, there's one opening there. It's up in Irvine. Go up down to personnel. It was on Broadway then. And they said, go, and you're interested in getting whatever, to fill in an application. So I went down there and said, oh yeah, now you go up to Irvine Park. I said, where the heck is Irvine Park? So anyway,
that's back in the days when there was no freeways or anything?
There was less than 1 million people in Orange County.
Oh.
Very, very few. There's Disneyland just came in, Giants came in, Dodgers came in. All this was great opening up, but I made it up to Irvine Park, and I said, well, what am I doing here? There's a big field. Well, that's just like my farm in Ireland. So anyway, these two guys were working on a stopped up sewer, I guess. Uh-huh. So I said, I was supposed to meet Mr. Kingsley. He was superintendent. I didn't know that. I said, okay. So we went up to the office, and he started asking me questions, interview. I said, can you build rock work? Like the thing at Irvine Park where the stages, that kind of. I said, yeah, but I didn't build it with this kind of rock. I built it with granite and all that, things, but I did a lot of that. But the rocks here is rounded,
River stuff.
River stuff. And they said, well, yeah, of course it is. You just have to be slower, because if you go too high, they'll fall down. There's no gripping, really. See? But anyway, he asked me a lot of questions like that, and thank goodness, they were simple to me. I knew all about what they were. So I said, well, if we hired you, he said, when would you be able to start? Well, first of all, I said I could get 2 weeks notice that was Revere Copper, and to my lawyer, where I worked. Anyway, and he said, well, okay, we'll let you know in a couple of weeks if we decide that you will work for us. So I came home, my wife was here, she said, the phone is for you. Just came from the park. And the superintendent of Kingsley, hey, are you still interested coming to work for us? Well, yeah, but I have to give 2 weeks. Well, that's all right, you're hired, you come. Because apparently then mostly that worked for the parks was retired Marines, good people, but they were not experienced in anything, in doing any trees or anything like that, or lawns, because some days they mowed their own lawns, and we did everything, So I said, okay, for 2 weeks I reported up there, and first they said, go down to the sheriff's department and get your fingerprints and all that, because you'll be working with prisoners or inmates. I said, okay, yeah. So anyway, I went down to the sheriff's department, and they did everything. And then I had to go back again. They gave me a badge, the sheriff's badge, and thing. And what else? I had to take a physical. I had to do all kinds of things. At the superintendent didn't know what I was. They had to go through them first before you could you were through the job. You had to have a clean record and all that stuff. So anyway, I guess I made it up. It didn't take too long to. They told me, well, you're just going to start here. And that was the first day I worked for the county was Labor Day, 1964. I said, my gosh, I said, I worked out there and there was row cars. I was there. We didn't charge them days or anything. Then there was no closing the park. You had to leave it open no matter what. So, you know, it's kind of misty, but still the park was loaded. There was big trucks with people coming down from LA, you know, because that was the only park around that people went to, because it was the oldest, I guess, park in the county. But anyway, I said, we have an inmate program. I said, and since you're probably better than some of those old guys, we want you to work the weekends and go down to Theo Lacey at the time and pick up some inmates. You have a truck with canvas on it and seating and all that, and we pick up 25 inmates. God, here I was, go up Chapman Avenue, drop 5 off at Irvine Park, then go up Mojiska Canyon to O'Neill Park and put those guys to work splitting wood or picking rocks or doing something. That was my first jobs, all by myself, you know. I guess nobody else wanted to do it at the time, but anyway, I enjoyed it. The only thing is, I have this big international truck, and we had a lot of rocks to pick up at O'Neill. It was all rocks. And I had 16 inmates, about. I had 8 on each side. You pick up the rock, put them in there. So that was going all right. Next thing, a snake landed in my lap. I was going slow with the truck. Ow! I jumped out of the truck, and the truck was still going slow. Caught up with it. I found out later it was a gopher snake. You know? They played tricks on you.